Welcome to season 5? 6? Where are we at? I lost count. Is it 5? Is it
5?
okay,
But
cool.
technically we did. You know,
All right. Well, welcome to season 5 of the Mad Good Knicks show. Far here, Pete there, TK, Jay, Steph. The whole gang is back. You might be wondering, where have we been this whole time? Well, look, I don't think it's a coincidence, but we had to get off the show for a little bit, talk to some guys in the background, really make sure that this Knicks organization was able to turn around.
Yeah.
Here we are. The Knicks just won one of the most exciting home openers
since 2011.
Was it 2011?
Yeah, Christmas.
It feels like a long. I said home openers.
Yeah, Christmas. It was the lockout season, guys. Come on, get it.
Bro, I don't remember what I ate yesterday.
All right, guys, come on.
That's like a trick question.
Come on,
why are you trying to make us look bad here? Anyway, the New York Knicks won 138-134 in double overtime. A whole lot to talk about. I mean, we could go on and on. We got a jam-packed show. I want to start off talking about the rotation. So, T, start with you. Do you think that we had the right starting five? And then what's your take on how the rotation flowed throughout the game? It's game one.
I think
make some decisions.
I think we definitely had the right starting five. It was really nice to see Mitch back out there, and he performed a lot better than he did in preseason game number 4. As far as the rotation goes, you know, I thought Tibbs was flexible early. It's game 1. It was nice to see Sims out there. I'm thinking Jets football here.
This is why I'm hot.
That was a Mims.
Yeah, me too. It was nice to see Sims out there early. And, you know, I thought he rolled with the guys that were hot, which is I'm okay with. You know, I'll speak on quickly a little later, but I think he deserved a little more minutes. But he wasn't cutting it. So,
Jay.
I think we definitely had the right rotation for the most part. I think I would have loved to see Grimes in there more with the defense that I saw during Game 4 of the preseason. And I think defense was an opportunity during this game. I know it was a 3-point barrage. My guy, fucking Parisian Assassin, was going in. I think that's my new guy. Yeah, facts. I'm calling him. He's mine.
Aren't you happy to see, like, Francis finally represented well?
oh, God.
Wow, Stan's coming in!
Yo, Duck! Oh.
This is where Favre should go, Je ne sais pas.
Oh, man. Pete, what do you got for me?
I gotta agree with most of you guys. I think the rotations for the first game were pretty good. We know our boy Tibbs likes to experiment a lot, so I expect that to change many times. But TK, you said the starting lineup was right. I thought in the last episode you didn't have Mitch in your starting lineup, and I don't know if I would put him necessarily in the starting lineup. I think he would benefit from coming off the bench, but
There's no choice.
Yeah, that was the reason. Primarily, there's no choice. And Noel's still dealing with a hamstring knee.
Well, was this question based on, given that all of our centers are injured, who should start at the center position? Well,
he was the only man available, so.
17 rebounds. I think he made his case.
I was just saying, like, going forward, I think I'd rather see Nerlens Noel start. I'm not saying Mitch ain't getting minutes. That's just all I'm saying.
Steph, let's bring you in. Who do you want to see more of or less of?
Great question, Far. So I definitely want to see more of Obi. I actually noticed that he was the one who started in overtime over Mitch. So I'm assuming that's more because of minutes. By the way, Mitch's conditioning has been like noticeably different this game around.
Oh, you're saying
which is why he was able to get to the right positions, get the lobs, and get a lot of those rebounds. AK 17.
Yeah.
So definitely to see Obi with the career high. You know, the Parisian Assassin as well. First time a Knick has scored 30 plus in their team debut.
Yeah.
Evan Fournier. So
we're breaking all sorts of records, baby.
Man. Yeah, so I'd love to see a lot of Obi, but his half-court game needs to improve definitely.
First and only time that 2 Knicks scored 30 at this stage of the season.
For once, we're breaking the records
that's awesome.
as opposed to other teams coming to our building and getting their records.
Once Jaylen Brown came in and started dropping 20 in the first quarter, I was like, yo, please don't let it be that night. But my New York Knicks said, nah.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
And our boy Jason Tatum with that 7-30 performance to drag Jaylen Brown down. Thank you for that.
But Jaylen Brown
Average it out.
We should be thanking RJ Barrett for slowing him down.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, the defense that RJ Barrett had, there's so much to talk about with this game, but this segment's about rotation, so let me just chime in real quick. I thought it was fascinating, and it's just coaching magnificence when Tibbs started off with a roughly like 10, 11-man rotation, then just went 8 or so right down the stretch. I think that is probably going to be something we're going to get used to. It's going to be 8 until someone just kind of falls out, loses their spot, is injured, or what have you. But unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to be seeing guys like Grimes for a little while longer, just because that's that guy Tibbs is.
I will say, if they're not playing defense, unlike how they did game 1, we do need someone like Grimes.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
So you think we should see more of Grimes?
Absolutely.
I think we need to.
Defensive.
I thought I certainly thought in the first game there was an opportunity to see Grimes when Jaylen Brown was just going off. But with that being said, what he had out there was working, right? Like, we won the game. So no matter how many points Jaylen Brown was putting up, it wasn't enough, right? As far as who I'd like to see more of, IQ, man. IQ only played a handful of minutes. I know he was 1 for 4. He's been in this crazy slump since the entire preseason. But he's adjusting. He's learning a new position. He kind of went from last season being the 3rd or 4th option on some nights to now he may be the 5th or 6th option, you know? So there's a huge adjustment there. One guy I wanted to see less of last night, unfortunately, this is going to pay me to say this. This is my dog.
Kemba.
Oh, my God, Kemba. I thought he played a little too many minutes last night.
Yeah,
He did almost have a double-double,
Yeah.
but he played a lot of minutes.
When you play 40 minutes, you're bound to run
it's
into one
tough.
of those with his skill set.
It was a double overtime. I know,
Yeah, it's
tough.
but
But-
his knees, and we got a game tomorrow.
Steph.
100%. But to add to that, bro, what I loved is that Kemba and D-Rose might have not had great games. Of course, D-Rose had that great shot at the end to kind of help push the Knicks to the win. But what I noticed is that players stepped up, right? OB and RJ pretty much dominated the second half,
Yeah,
especially in the
for sure.
fourth quarter with the
Especially
fast break points, leading in transition and making these guys run. So I love to see that. That's going to be playoff proof, is if your bench players are able to step up when your big players aren't playing as well, that's a huge sign of a good and growing team.
Two quick things I'll say, and then Pete, you can take us home here. But one thing,
I thought we are home.
the OB, no, we're at his home. One thing that I loved was the fact that OB and RJ are 2 lottery picks were able to carry us for a significant game. That hasn't happened for the Knicks in ages. Second, I don't know about you guys, but when we were in double overtime and Kemba looked gassed out, and it was Derrick Rose who came in, like the embarrassment of point guard riches that the New York Knicks have.
Say that again?
That's
Wait,
the
what?
embarrassment
The
of
Knicks?
point guard riches the New
What?
York Knicks have.
Since
the
when?
sentence I would never think I'd say.
It's first game of the season.
Yeah,
Still.
a lot of great points were made. I'm with you. IQ would love to get more minutes, but because of these riches of point guards, it's a good problem to have, I think, at this point. And if we do run into any, God forbid, injuries, we do have like a deep team to choose from. So I'm happy to see the rotations being narrowed down. I think this year it's much more obvious what the starting lineup should be as compared to last year, where it could have really been anyone's kind of team. But yeah, I think so far so good. We won the game. That's all that counts, and I'm happy to see a team that comes out in the third quarter and we don't have to be scared.
Really quick before we take it home.
Good halftime
Oh,
adjustments because we
Barrett.
actually have a coach.
Question: Who loses minutes and who gets minutes when Taj and Noel come back? What happens?
Taj isn't playing that much.
At all?
I don't think it's at all.
What about
but
Noel?
When
How
you
many
have,
minutes?
He's gonna
I
have
think
to.
Noel's probably
And then
gonna
Mitch
start
have to leave.
Yeah.
Well, who's losing minutes?
Mitch.
Probably Mitch.
You guys
It's
are
gonna do him a
bugging
favor
out.
against
Yeah, I think
You
with
guys are
injury and
bugging.
conditioning,
Yeah.
I don't want him to lose minutes, but I think
Well, it makes
it's
no
going to be
sense.
inevitable. When you have someone as solid and defensively sound as Noel, why wouldn't you lean on him while this guy
I
gets
get
to
it, but
100%?
Randall and Obi were working.
I think you're going
That
to
was
see Mitch
work.
a
That was
lot
fun.
in
Yo.
the beginning of the game, but in tight games, kind of tight situations, I think you're going to see Taj and some little more vet guys in those situations.
That fourth quarter lineup could end up being Obi and
That's what I'm
Randall.
saying.
These
You
guys
know,
probably
it's
are
tough.
gonna have
It's
to
a
do
tough
that.
goal.
I mean, Steph
Noel
Curry,
may be riding the
Steph
pine.
Curry,
Tons to talk about here.
Oh my God!
Tons to talk
Game
about.
one.
This is just segment 1 of the show. Let us know in the comments. Who do you think should be in that rotation? Who do you think should play more, less? When Noel comes back, who's playing more, who's playing less, etc. It's the Maggot Knicks Show. We back!
We're back, baby.
What's up, y'all? So this segment is called Love Hate. Something we loved about the Knicks this past game, and something we hated about the Knicks this past game. So I'm going to start off. What I loved, not necessarily the Knicks team, but the fans went nuts both during the game and after the game out at the Garden. Just be careful because you guys are scaring the Frenchmen, the good Frenchmen. And then something I hated about this game, the defense could be better. It's not the Tibbs defense that we're used to. We had some big stops, but we also had some horrible end of fourth quarter plays. So I think we could do a little better there. Who's next?
So one thing I like and one thing I hate, but for you, my friend, I got a whole bunch of stuff. So lightning round. Things I liked: our defensive tenacity in the second half when it counted. R.J. Barrett, Mitch's rebounding. You gotta love that. The fast breaks we started running at the end of the game with Obi Toppin as the runner because we weren't doing any of that in the beginning. Our ball movement improved throughout the game, and then I love to see Fournier showing up, my French accent, and doing exactly what we hired them to do in the first game of the season. What I didn't like was in the first half, ball movement totally lacking. Very ISO-heavy offense, which is like my nightmare from seasons previous. Mitch's screens that he set, still an issue. Mitch, you got to make some contact on those bodies. You saw how Jericho Sims came in and made a first bucket off PNR. Questionable shot selection during that game and poor defense on threes. Thankful Tatum missed a lot because otherwise we'd be in trouble. Bye.
Jay, you want to come a little closer?
Let's talk about it. What did I like? I liked all the three-pointers that we saw out there. The fact that it was insane. Our starting lineup was shooting, I want to say about 47% when you round up 46.9 when you talk about the exact stats. I really love the fact that the Parisian assassin, my man was, I cannot talk enough about this man. This man must be like, my ears ring. Can you stop? I only want my name in my girl's mouth. Anyways, long story short, the one thing that I do not like is the fact that for this being Tibbs team, we didn't play defense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Aha. No, but for real though, we needed Grimes. We needed some more defensive play out there. I mean, Fournier had 4 steals. We saw, of course, Mitch with his block. It was a block party, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? You need to stop more on the perimeter. So get that in check. And guess what? We're going to be the different team in the East Coast.
What up, guys? 2 fun facts before the love and the hate. Knicks and Celtics have had the most face-offs in NBA League history since 1946. And the second fact is that we had 11 lead changes and 10 tied parts of the game from the last game. A lot of ups and downs. Some things that I loved: heart, tenacity, and hustle. And the fans. It was loud as hell in there. I was loving it. Think about this, right? We were second in rebounds per game in the NBA last night for the first game of the season. Second in blocks per game at 10 as well. But Boston had the highest amount of threes, 21, and rebounds in the NBA, and more assists than the Knicks last night, but we still came back to beat them in the second half. That's heart, tenacity, hustle, and fast break points. We had 60 points to their 42 in the paint, so that really speaks to our ability to drive to the basket, draw some fouls, and get our big men down there playing low. And what I really liked is that we didn't look dejected or were sulking while the game was going on. Another thing that I hated, though, was that some of our play didn't look really similar to the preseason. My man Julius Randle, incredible performance, but one criticism, my dude, a little too much ISO play. I'm starting to see those players around you get a little stagnant, so a little more ball movement would certainly help. And that's pretty much it, but I understand it's a statement game. Stuff from the Mag and Nick Show.
What up, guys? So I was told we only have 45 seconds, so I'll keep mine very brief. What I did like, I loved how the Knicks fought back, facing adversity. Jaylen Brown hit the big 3, tied the game. Knicks still fought back and got it done. Love that. Thanks, Pete. And one thing I didn't like to see my man IQ struggle. I know he's going through it right now. It's an adjustment period. Want to see him play up to par. Also didn't want to see Kim play so many minutes. I think we need to be more careful with that.
Playoffs! It's game 1. I know that. But we're Knicks fans, so we're going to be irrational about this anyway. Are the Knicks going to the playoffs? Tell me. Talk to me.
Jay, that's a fact. Yes, we are. We were there.
Is that a real question?
Is that?
We got to go back to get some things.
we're
We left some things there last year, so we got to go get it back.
The crazy thing is, this feels different. I know last 10 years, every single year, we're like, we're probably going to the playoffs. This year, we're extra confident.
We're perennial lock.
I want to hear why.
It's a continuation from last year, for my reason. And then, of course, the foundation. And also, did you see game 1? Yeah. We're fucking going to the playoffs. What do you think, T?
Yeah, man. I think they're a lock for the playoffs, barring injuries.
the team is just gelling too quick. We have 2 new starters, Kemba and Fournier, but they seem to fit right in.
All right. So we'll establish, yes, we're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to hear seeds.
Ooh, that's a
Top
good
5.
question.
Top five. What do you got?
I think, yeah, top 5. I think
All
they're
right.
going to be number 5.
I need us to get
just
more
said
specific.
5.
Number 5.
Number
T?
5.
5. I said 5.
5.
We all 5.
I'm the only one here saying 4. I think we can repeat as the 4th seed. I don't know if we're gonna win the conference because obviously it's gonna
East
be
is
tough.
tough, man.
Very tough. And then
The Bulls,
yeah.
the Hornets.
I don't know. I think
The
with good coaching on our
Hawks.
side, and especially the IQ that I saw last night, and by that I don't mean Emmanuel quickly. I mean the IQ from the team itself. Literally, in like one of those last plays when you see Fournier doing the back screen, and then he's splitting Schroeder. Schroeder doesn't know if to go to Mitch, if to come back to Fournier. Parisian assassin 3-point, and that's all we had last night, a 3-point barrage. So
What about the IQ and not fouling with a couple seconds left and letting Jaylen Brown fire the 3
Well,
to
we
tie
were
the game?
terrible defensively the whole evening, so
Okay,
I'll
well,
stick with that.
the IQ
That
is
was rough.
one-sided.
So let's talk about
Smart
the
enough
evolution or lack thereof. So T, you touched on it a little bit. Did we see an evolution? Did we take a step back anywhere?
No question, we saw an evolution. The Knicks of last season probably don't win this game. When Jaylen Brown hits that 3, they had momentum. They truly had momentum going into the overtime. The Knicks of old may have folded, may have ran out of gas down the stretch, especially because Julius was carrying the load for a lot of the game. Fournier caught fire. We didn't have that last year. I absolutely saw evolution. Yeah. I saw evolution defensively. I know it didn't seem like it with Jaylen Brown going off, but these guys were rotating. They were
Tatum did not go off.
And also, these are
not Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
No, I said Tatum did not go off.
Oh, Tatum,
yeah.
He
He would obviously be dangerous and someone to watch out for. But, I mean, the minutes also were crazy amongst our starters, essentially, too.
It was a double overtime.
So, I'll say the biggest standout to me, you touched on it a little bit, but that was Fournier.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we have that knockdown shooter, we only saw that in spurts from guys who were like journeymen.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock, I mean, he was here for at least 2 years, but I'm talking about the likes of, like, Rivers, for example, who, like, went off that one game right before he got traded.
Yeah.
You had JR who did this on occasion. You had
6 man a year,
you had, Nate Robinson who did this on occasion. But, like, now we have this guy who's solidified. He's known to be a deep threat, and it just feels good. And he's a starter. He's not like discount double check. He's a starter. He gets real minutes, and it feels good. So I want to talk quickly about the young foundation in particular. So not our rookies necessarily, but that young core that we're developing. Randall, yeah, he's the oldest one, but RJ, Randall, IQ, Obi, Mitch, how we feeling?
I think it's just beautiful to see everything coming together. You're talking about Obi having a career high. You're talking about RJ looking incredibly comfortable out there when he basically was trashed the first half of the game, and then the second half of the game, the guy's on fire. To me, that shows they, again, cool under pressure. This is not our first rodeo. We're professionals. We do this.
Obi's jump was huge. T?
Yeah, I saw a lot of development and evolution in all of their games. I think they're on the right path. I love RJ's makeup, man. I love how even keel he is. It doesn't matter. He was scoreless in the first half.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
He was playing lockdown defense. Second half, he was like, I got this.
Yeah.
Got out in transition a couple of times, made tough baskets, started pulling up, hitting threes. I mean, what can't this kid do? He's a two-way wing. Soon, hopefully, one day he'll be an all-star. Obi looked great, career high. Fournier, career high. One thing that does concern me, though, IQ. IQ has been slumping hard. And as we know from last season, he was in a major slump, and it took him a long time to get out of that shooting slump. So we'll see with IQ, but I still think his trajectory is on the way up.
I think guys like IQ, the mechanics that they have, like, he'll be fine. It might take him a few games, but he'll be fine. I think, again, Obi, amazing. RJ, the fact that he was able to turn around from what he did. Mitchell Robinson, though, 17 rebounds. I know played a ton of minutes, but 17 rebounds for someone who didn't play much in the offseason, came in a bit heavier and stockier, I'll say.
Not like Zion, though.
Not like Zion, not the Hamburglar himself. But we're talking about Mitchell Robinson came in stocky. Like, he was built.
Flex, baby.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that he was able to grab 17 boards, like, now all of a sudden I'm like, I think this guy could really, really be that legit center that's going to anchor the defense. Of course, we've all talked about it, but the fact that it was on full display for a win like this, damn, that feels validating.
Yeah. You don't think he was throwing his weight around now? Like, I think obviously he has that ability now in him. Where it's like he was perfect at boxing out even in his rookie season, but he didn't have the weight behind him. Whereas now it's like, I said,
any rebound. Yeah, any rebound.
I said I got this.
He threw Williams out the way. He threw both Williams out the way, actually.
Yeah, not to say it wasn't a test last night, because that kid for the Celtics is pretty nasty. But like, I want to see him go head to head now against the Go Bears of the world.
Oof. Oh, no, come on, guys.
Embiid's Go Bears. No, because that's really gonna show us all right, the Knicks can in fact get over some level of a hump.
I'm sorry. No. What the fuck is wrong with both of you? Embiid is in a different league compared to Mitch.
Of course he is, man.
But I think
that's the test you want to put him up against?
I want to play the best. I'm not going to shy away from
throw bodies at him. Throw Mitch,
go
throw
take a
Sims,
timeout,
throw Noel, throw Gibson.
Stupid ideas. Anyway, last question. Real quick answer since we're over time here. But if you put this current team, the team that beat the Celtics in last year's playoffs against Atlanta, who's winning and how many games will take the Knicks?
Boy,
New York is
smoking them
destroying.
We smoking them red pigeons.
Yeah.
Fuck Trey Young. Fuck Trey Young. Yo, comment that in the section below, and we'll see you guys in the next segment. Peace.
What's going on, guys? We are back for another segment. This time around, we want to introduce a little something different. We're going to be discussing Knicks, but around the league and how it impacts us, right? So let's talk drama-free. Guys, how does it feel to not have to worry about your New York Knicks in today's current drama? We have the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie. We have the 76ers and this bum.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
What drama?
He can't shoot a three, but that's beside the point. And we have the Lakers. The AARP Lakers.
Right.
Guys, how's it feel?
When you said drama-free, I'm glad you specified the Knicks, because Lord knows the rest of my life ain't drama-free.
Uh-oh.
But I want to say it feels so good to just be able to focus strictly on basketball, on the technical aspects of the game, on how the crowd is the sickest crowd in the NBA, on how we've got a decent coaching staff, about how Julius Randle fined $15,000 for throwing the ball instead.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I saw that
breaking
live,
news.
and I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. Lo and behold, they fined him. Anyway, that's about as much drama as we're going to get. Randle throwing a ball in the stands because we won the game.
$15,000 is
just
light.
Essentially, it feels good to be able just to focus on those aspects of the game. I guess it took us taking a year off for the Knicks to be like, wait, MGKS gave up on us? Now we got to take this seriously.
We did a lot of praying.
So Philly with the Ben Simmons situation, you know how I feel about players putting up tantrums. I mean, I'm not going to defend corporate interests. I know corporations can be evil and mistreat players and take advantage of players, but to deal with these kind of situations, whether it's Harden or Ben Simmons or whoever the case may be, that just pisses me off. And then the Lakers, like chip-chasing players and these dynasty put-together teams, just reminds me of those Karl Malone,
Gary
Payton Lakers.
For sure.
So I'm never a fan of that. That doesn't speak to me in the spirit of the game. I think that's just chip-chasing and that's like old-school Yankees just buying.
Hey, we actually won.
Granted, there's a salary cap, but I guess just the location. And then who else did you mention? Because
the Nets and Kyrie.
Oh, jeez. Well, karma's a female dog, and in this case, I don't care, man. We all had our suspicions about Kyrie. We're all kind of like, you know what? The fact that he didn't come here, all that Boston drama, kind of sold us on the fact that whatever, he doesn't need to be here. Yeah. And then seeing our team do as well as it does.
Cleveland.
I feel completely content in all of our decisions, all of our trades, all of our draft picks in the last few years. So,
Steph, what do you think?
I'm happy.
Yeah, same here, man. It feels like the Michael Jackson meme, when he's eating that popcorn. It feels like we're on the other side of this, right? Now we're all watching all the drama happening from the sidelines, man. It feels good not to be in it all. It feels great not to have fans to be the laughingstock of the NBA. Now people are taking us seriously because we're balling out, man. And when I watch us play, I got to be honest, the last several years, it's been like, where's the basketball, right? It just seems like some pickup games, but now we seem so cohesive. And when it comes to the Nets, the Sixers, all that drama, man, it just seems so unprofessional a lot of the times. I know there's probably a lot of things happening behind closed doors, but I'm just so glad that the spotlight is on them, that the pressure's now turning to them. A lot of like the drama is just focused elsewhere, and we're just doing our thing, flying low, playing ball, and just eye on the prize.
I agree. I'll keep this brief. I think the whole Ben Simmons situation's a joke. You know, the Super Bowl winning center of the Eagles, Jason Kelsey, said today, longtime Philadelphia Eagle, said today, yo, like, listen, if you just play better, if you just, you know, do your job, the fans will embrace you. And I think it's that simple. So for Ben Simmons to whine, bitch, and moan about how he feels mistreated, it's a joke. Kyrie, listen, I support him. I love what he's doing. But on the flip side, I'm just glad he's not with the Knicks, because I'm not sure if I'd be able to say the same if he was. As far as the Lakers go, you know, I love Melo. Best of luck to him. You know, if it's not the Knicks this season, I'll root for Melo and the Lakers to win it all. You know, but we'll see. That's later on down the line.
What?
If it's not the Knicks, it's not the Knicks this season, I'm rooting for Melo.
Nah, we can't get Bron winning a 5th chip because we already got these casuals all over the internet.
If it means Melo gets his first, I will take it. Guys, do you have any more to say about the drama? We're drama free.
Drama free.
We're drama free.
Let's move on. Move on
Guys,
to the
that's
drama.
a wrap.
What drama?
We're drama free, baby. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment.
What
Catch
about-
you on the next one. See ya.